There was a warm welcome at Highfield Road for Coventry's new player-manager Terry Butcher, who installed himself in a five-man defence with Trevor Peake retaining the captaincy. Butcher's first contribution was to launch a free kick to the edge of Liverpool's penalty area, the champions at 6s and 7s. Kevin Gallagher's low shot left Grobbelaar motionless, only to rebound off the post. And Butcher was quick to find out Coventry's big problem. They don't take their chances. They've only 2 penalty goals to show for 6 weeks of league football. He certainly can't let Liverpool off the hook. 73 minutes gone, Ray Houghton's short-range cross-come shot was going straight to Agrizovic until Butcher intervened. Peter Beardsley poaching his 11th league goal of the season. Peter Reid did the opposite to Terry Butcher and left himself out of the Manchester City lineup for his first game in charge since getting the City job on a permanent basis. Adrian Heath's short strides making big inroads into the Luton defence. David White taking over when it mattered for his 4th in 6 games. Now here's a little number worked out on the training ground, but I wonder how many times Steve Redmond has connected quite like that. City looked to be cruising towards their first away win when the pattern of the game changed. Richard Harvey's cross for Ian Dowie, who only seems to score at home. Then in the last minute, Dowie was bundled over by Colin Hendry to give Luton a hotly disputed penalty. It wasn't so much the decision that caused a fracas, it was John Dreher's kick. Bit of a con job, but the quick thinking paid off. Arsenal must be wondering what on earth they've got to do if there's to be another photo finish to the league season as there was 2 years ago. It's their best start for 40 years. Perry Groves to Paul Merson for number 1. Now, with a defence that hasn't been breached for 6 games, it's more of a luxury than a necessity when Arsenal get 4. And as Limpar's first touch was brilliant, his second just about powerful enough to sneak in. George Graham had toyed with the idea of recalling David Rocastle, but Perry Groves fully justified the manager's alternative selection. A picture goal this, Alan Smith's first in the league this season. And having waited 3 months for that moment, Smith only had to wait a further 20 minutes for his second. Nowhere near as spectacular, but Smith couldn't care less. Arsenal a point better off than they were this time last week. Crystal Palace have been finding goals and wins hard to come by, so they must have really appreciated the space afforded to Andy Gray and Paul Parker's assist, although Ian Wright will no doubt be claiming it. You don't often see Don Howe teams defending like that. They've been even deeper trouble without the goals of Roy Wegley. Wegley heading in his 11th of the season from Simon Barker's cleverly worked cross. But Palace picked up their second win in 6 games when Thorne flicked on McGoldrick's corner, Ian Wright needing no assistance to convert from that sort of range. His 8th of the season. Sheffield United held out for an hour or so, but once they went a goal behind, it was as good as over. Patient build-up by Manchester United. Steve Bruce with his 6th of the season. Without a win, 5 games without a goal, Dave Bassett must be reaching the stage where a phone call to Lenny Lawrence wouldn't go amiss. Topic of conversation, escapology. Definitely no escape at Old Trafford when Mark Hughes made it 2 with a minute left. Leeds are the form team of the First Division at present. Great to watch, murder to play against. 9 goals in 3 games, Lee Chapman's 5th in 6. Could have been a lot worse for Derby, whose problem is scoring goals, not stopping them. But there was nothing Wright, Shilton and co could do about this. Didn't even know Chapman could do this. A real gem of a goal from that little diamond, Gordon Strachan. Carl Schutt was involved in all 3 Leeds goals. Played well at Main Road last week as well, pulling defenders out of the middle and then putting the ball into one of the vacated areas. Gary Speed doing the rest. It's not vintage Forest yet, but a couple of fine goals nonetheless against a hard-working Sunderland side. Steve Chettle with his Stuart Pearce impression. For Nigel Clough, it was first time out against the club his dad used to play for. Nigel's 2nd of the season was beautifully done, and with Graham Taylor watching as well, being the manager, a big fan of Cloughie Jr. Having lost 6 of their first 8 games, Norwich appear to have got their act together. Ian Crook firing them in front as early as the 3rd minute. Now, Derek Mountfield ought to go on holiday or something for Norwich games. 2 own goals against them last season. His foul on Dale Gordon there judged to be of the cynical variety. Red card, early bath. Now, Rule Fox started the move for number 2, combining with Dale Gordon. This is Gordon. This is Fox. This is Gordon again. Now, keep an eye on Fox, who never stops running, making his way to the edge of the penalty area before getting it back from Gordon and hitting a cross shot past Nigel Spink. Norwich, 11 points out of the last 15 available. Wimbledon hadn't won at home. Chelsea hadn't won away. Peter Nicholas's extraordinary own goal after a minute gave everyone the distinct impression it was the Dons who'd be heading for a first. Wimbledon had actually drawn their 4 previous games at home, so it was relief as much as anything else that greeted Terry Gibson's first of the season. Alan Cork playing it into the near post. Gibson doing what he does so well. Well, Chelsea managed to pull one back 10 minutes from the end through Gordon Durie, but it's only 1 win in 9 games for them now. Next Sunday, they're live on The Match at Old Trafford.